and welcome to this lesson slash bootcamp on broken chord patterns. So it doesn't sound exciting, but I promise you these sound so beautiful. And they're a great way to develop strength and dexterity in your fingers and your hands, all while working on moving between chords smoothly and efficiently. And that will make your songs and playing songs so much easier. It'll give you lots of options when it comes to creating your left hand accompaniments or beautiful parts for your right hand to play as well. So we're going to be playing around in the key of F today, and we're going to be using just our standard pop chords, and we're going to be playing them broken. But before we do that, I want you to get comfortable with the chord shapes we're going to be using. So to begin, we're going to play up high just because it sounds kind of extra pretty, and I want you to play a root position, F major chord. Then we're going to go to a first inversion C major chord. So notice how I'm here, and then I keep my 5-finger where it is, move my 1 down and my 2. So I've got E, G, and C. Then I'm going to play a D minor in first inversion. So I take my hand and just go there. And then a second inversion, B flat chord. And the great news here is that these outer notes aren't going to change. We're just going to swap our 2 for our 3 on B flat. And that's the pattern. So let's do that again. So root position F, to a C, and this is a great time to just check in with your posture, make sure you're relaxed. First inversion, D minor, I think I called that C the correct name. You know what to do. And then a second inversion, B flat. And let's just mirror that with our left hand, maybe actually all on its own at first, because we're going to be doing this with our left too. Root position F, first inversion C, first inversion, D minor, and second inversion, B flat. So you'll notice this feels different, and because we're playing up higher, you might want to position your bench up higher, or you might just want to shove over on your bench just a little bit to set yourself up so you're comfortable here. Because once you start, you don't want to be wiggling around, you want to be stationary. Root position, here's our first inversion. Everybody goes, arch, for our first inversion, D minor, and then swap the 3 for the 2 for your B flat. And those are your shapes. So let's get started with our first pattern. It's going to sound so pretty. We're going to do the work in our right hand. We're going to go 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, 3, 5, 3. And I'm using my pedal, so you can do that if you want to sustain those notes. It sounds lovely. And I'm going to match root notes with my left hand. So if this feels like too complex of a step for you, you can just put your left hand away and work on your right hand. But if you want to add something to it, just match the root notes from what you're playing your right to your left. So here we go. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, 3, 5, 3. Sounds lovely. And then we're going to move to that next shape. So this is a C chord. We'll do it twice. And then we'll move up to the D minor. So the point of this is that you're playing along with me. I'm going to do this a few times just so that you can get a feel for what's happening here. It sounds kind of like a music box. I love it. Back to the F. 1, 3, 5, 3. We've got our C. So it's just an inverted C chord. Everybody moves up. We got D minor now. And then again to the B flat. And we're going to repeat this because I want you to be really comfortable here. So we've got F, A, C, A, F, A, C, A, then E, G, C, G. We do that again. And then we're going to go F, A, D, A. And then F, B flat, D, B flat. Stop there for a second. Okay, so wasn't that really, really pretty? It sounds so delicate and light and lovely. And what that'll do is it actually probably, if you are an Adele fan, right? I heard that you settled down, that you, right? It's a very common progression and pattern. So you're gonna have lots of places to use this. So we're comfortable there. I'm going to work on a slightly different pattern. And now this is where you're going to develop that dexterity and that finger independence because it's going to feel a little bit more challenging. So we're going to go 1, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3. So that again. Okay, and then to the C chord, D minor, and then the B flat. So I'm going to walk you through that really slowly before we dive into our rotation on that, just because it's a little bit more challenging. So we're going through our shapes just like before. So there's the shapes we did earlier. And we're starting with the bottom note, middle, top, middle, top, middle, top, middle. Then set your hand up for that next chord shape. Bottom, middle, top, middle. So it's all about getting yourself set up for success as you go through these. Set up the shape, bottom, middle, top, middle, top, middle, top, middle. Reset your hand again, and the same pattern. So let's do that with a little bit of an accompaniment here. Bottom, middle, top, middle. And this is where you might begin to feel a little bit of wrist fatigue. So make sure you're relaxed and you have a little bit of a rotation if that helps. Don't hold any tension at all in your fingers. You're just pushing directly down. Energy is coming down from your shoulders. And I just took a vacation with my left hand. That's kind of against the rules. Try to keep it on the keys if you're playing with it. So we're running through that rotation again. There's our C in the inverted shape. I just love how inversions make things sound just a little bit different than they do when you're only playing with root positions. And there's our B flat. And we're gonna get ready to switch to our left hand. So same pattern, get into that root position F shape, bottom, middle, top, middle, top, middle, top, middle. Change your shape. There's that new shape. And pay attention to how this feels different in your left hand from your right hand. Because for me, my left hand is definitely the weaker hand. So I have to pay a little bit more attention. Let's do it again. And this time, if you want to, you can play the root notes in your right hand. It's going to sound really pretty. So just the chord name. So this is a D minor, so I'll play a D. And next up is a B flat. So we'll run through that again. You can hear how it all sounds. So we'll play F with the F position, F chord. And then C. It almost sounds like a song. For good measure, F. I'm picking up the speed a little bit here, so try to see if you can bring your speed up. And we'll land on F. So there's two patterns that you can play with your left hand and your right hand using that progression, using those inversion shapes. Let's look at one more because this one's just like one step further, a little bit more challenging. And we're gonna go 1, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 1, 3. And the finger numbers might change. So essentially it's bottom, middle, top, middle, bottom, middle. And then you get your new shape and you repeat that pattern. So this is challenging the brain. Oh, that's the wrong chord. There's my shape. Bottom, middle, top, middle, bottom, middle, and then to my B flat. It's hard to do this and talk at the same time. Let's do it again. Here we go. 1, 2, here we go. So this is a bit of a challenge. Sounds so pretty. Let's do it again. Here's our F. There's the C. You're gonna be such a pro at this progression by the ooh. By the time you're done this. We are all human beings. Make mistakes. One more time. See if I can do this one mistake free. Bottom, middle, there's our C. Bottom, middle, there's the D minor. This one's gonna be hard with the left hand, oh my goodness. And we're gonna switch hands. So get ready, left hand, root position, F chord. We'll start really slow. Bottom, middle, top, middle, top, middle, bottom, middle. This movement right here, that change, I really feel that in my fingers, obviously. But it feels challenging from a coordination standpoint. Make sure you use your 2 finger on that B flat for this shape. That's important too. So let's repeat this. The fingering that I'm using, you should definitely try to mimic that because it's going to help you to be the most efficient with the least amount of tension. Here's our D minor. And yeah, I'm looking at my hands right now. That's a question I get asked a lot. Is that okay to look at your hands? Absolutely. You're learning something new? Now, pardon me, let's add in the right hand just on those root notes just to create a little bit of an extra pretty sound. Here we go. Doesn't it sound so song-like? And here's our D minor. I'm going to be quiet now. Focus. Again, here we go. There's our C. And our D minor. And our B flat. Let's do it one more time and see if we can speed it up. That's actually fun. Super fun. So there's a set of patterns that you can do using that particular grouping of chord inversions. All right, so that was the first set. So if you've done that and you're like, oh, I'm kind of tired, you can stop there. You can come back to the second set a little bit later, or you can keep on going. And this one is the same chords, but we're just doing a different inversion root. So instead of beginning on root position, we're gonna start on a first inversion, F chord, right here. So our notes are A, C, and F. And then we're going to move to a second inversion C chord. So this is the challenge right here. You've got your 1, 2, 5, and then your 1, 3, 5. Then you're going to move to a second inversion D minor, and that's easy. You're just going to go, D is down in this second spot below the top. That's kind of how I remember my inversions. And then root position B flat, and that's really smooth, right from here to here. So let's do that again. Root position, F. Second inversion C. Second inversion D minor, and first, good grief. Root position, B flat one more time. First inversion, second inversion, second inversion, root position. Now your left hand just to get comfortable with those shapes. First inversion, A, C, F. And then we're gonna move to a second inversion C. So again, there's that fingering change and it's a bit challenging. So you might wanna just do this a few times just to warm yourself up. Second inversion D minor, also using our 2 finger here. Another switch to our root position B flat. And yes, you do need to use your 5, 3, 1. You don't want to keep your 2 there. It's going to get crunchy and awkward, and it's not the habit we want to develop. So one more time, root, no, Lisa. First inversion, and then we're going to go to second inversion with the 2. Second inversion again, and then swap those fingers. And again, you might have to move your positioning with your arm a little bit here. It's totally fine. Boom, okay, so let's put this into our patterns now. So the first one, the beautiful thing about these patterns is once you've learned them, you can apply them to any sort of inversion path that you want to take. So we're gonna go bottom, middle, top, middle, bottom, middle, top, middle. Then we're gonna have this tricky moment. We have to switch. There we go. And then we're gonna move everybody sort of up. This one feels kind of simple because you have the time to get your hand reset. And then again, you're gonna probably need to slide forward on your keys to get that B flat comfortably. But once you're in, you can add in that left hand. So, and just look at this. When you're here, to move back to that F in first inversion, it's so smooth. It's just right there. And then our C. So I'm kind of leading with my wrist, right? You see me kind of tilting it. And then our D minor. And then our B flat. I'm going to do it again, and this time I'm going to pick up the speed just a little bit. Again, it's just sounding so pretty. One more time. And our C. Remember to breathe. When I focus, I forget to breathe. And now let's have a whirl with our left hand. So nice and slow, here we go. Bottom, middle, top, middle. Remembering, we're not starting in root position, so I should just clarify that. A is gonna be your bottom note. Bottom, middle, top, middle. And then there's our C. So it's a new pattern, and our brains are kind of like, whoa, what's happening? That's okay. And there's our B flat. Bit of a fingering change there. Let's do that again. This sounds different than the other pattern, feels different than the other pattern, but the notes are essentially the same. They're just in a different order. And when you feel ready, you can add in the root notes with your left hand. So I'm getting ready with an F. Almost missed my shape there. And C. And D minor. I'm starting to feel this in my wrists now. And B flat. That's not a B flat. Here it is. And F. So you have to think about that again. You can add rhythms in. Oh, look at me switching the inversions on you. Sorry. But if this does happen to you while you're playing and you find yourself sort of traveling through the inversions in a different order than you intend to, it's okay. Just come back to the pattern like I did. And also, you know, everything that I show you here, I'm always secretly hoping you're gonna take and you're gonna change it and you're gonna make it your own and you're gonna get creative. So know that I'm expecting that to happen for you. My mind just does that automatically. I have the attention span of a squirrel, maybe? So after I've done something a few times, I'm like, oh, I wonder what this sounds like. And that's the beauty of boredom, right? It'll drive you to creativity. Not that this is boring, so let's keep going. Let's make it more challenging by adding in a new pattern. Once again, we're gonna build out the pattern. So we're gonna be, again, with our right hand in our first inversion, and this time, bottom, middle, top, middle, top, middle, top, middle, right? And then we'll move through our shapes that way. So here we go. I'm gonna just start right away with my left hand added in. Don't feel like you have to do this. You can just take this one hand at a time. And I'd love to hear from you which of these sort of patterns you like best. So our pace is up a little bit here. It's good because we're getting comfortable with these shapes. And seriously, these are so fun to practice fast. So once you've mastered this and you want to work on this on your own, you can bring up the speed. We're going to do one more. There's our F. And our C. And our D minor. And our B flat. And we're going to go right into our left hand. Get it ready. See if you can do it. And C. And if you didn't get it, that's okay. Just jump in with me when you're ready. Have to think about that one. And F. And C. D minor. And B flat. We're going to do it one more time. There's our F. And C. minor, and B flat. And now we're gonna get right into our next pattern with our right hand. This one is bottom, middle, top, middle, bottom, middle. And I'm in the wrong chord shape, so let's bring that to the correct chord shape this time, Lisa. Bottom, middle, top, middle, bottom, middle. And to the C. I feel like this one might be my favorite pattern. I don't know. Cycling through again. And pick up the speed in a moment. So get ready. One more, just a little bit faster. Small little blip there. No big deal. Just carried on. I actually really love these boot camps for that reason, because there's no like stop and start edits. It's just, I got to keep going, mistakes and all. And I think it's really important for you guys to see that I get distracted, that I make mistakes, and you know, you just keep going. It's not the end of the world when we make mistakes. And I feel like as musicians, so many of us we're such perfectionists that it can make it really difficult for us to continue on even when we've made a mistake. We want to fix it. And yes, you should definitely fix your mistakes and slow things down, but sometimes when you're playing, you just got to go with the flow. So we have one more round with our left hand here on that pattern, and we're going to get our inversion shape. I'm going to pay attention, make sure I'm in the right shape for it. Bottom, middle, top, middle, bottom, middle. Okay, I feel like I got it. Our D minor and my B flat. Let me get my right hand ready. C, D minor, and B flat. And we'll do it again. Bringing up the speed just a little bit. B flat. One more time. Boom! We did it! That was the second set. So that was so much fun. I love, like I've already said this probably a few times, I really do love these boot camps. I love them because they give you something you can follow along with and practice. It helps you to stay focused and engaged. You're learning something that's super musical and beautiful that also doubles as a technique practice. You're getting your inversions, you're getting a warm-up, you're getting dexterity, you're getting finger independence, and when you're playing those other notes, like the accompaniment notes, those root notes in the opposing hand, you're really developing hand independence. It's challenging. Then hopefully your brain will be like, oh, well, that sounded so pretty. And then you'll get creative. And you'll kind of mess around. Right? You'll see what you come up with, and you can create your little songs like that. You can really play any of the chord notes that you would like in the other hand, right? So if you're playing A, C, and F, those three notes are going to sound good in this hand. You can play them in any order you like. This is where it becomes your own. So, happy practicing. You can practice this in any key signature you like. We just demonstrated it in F today. Once you have this mastered, you can take it into other keys. You can develop your speed on these patterns. You can write them down if that makes it easier. I write my chord names and then I write numbers beside them. So if I want to play root position, I put an R. If I want to play first inversion, I put the chord name and then a 1. Second inversion, chord name and then a 2. So you can create your own little paths as well. So I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Comment below with your feedback or if you have any questions. I'd love to know what your favorite pattern was, and happy practicing.